My new show is actually Love versus Trauma. And that one I toured to Beijing, I toured to Puerto Rico and Greece just this last year. And it was just so powerful to talk with groups of people about trauma recovery. Like, how do we do it? What helps facilitate that? And what can we do in community with each other? What's the community that we want for each other, that we want for ourselves, that we want for our children and our grandchildren? What's the world we want to build together? And trauma actually blocks your vision of the future. It kind of narrows your vision down only to the present tense, which is why that's such a big political tool to keep people in a state of trauma. So what helps to subvert that actually is to come together in groups, to talk with people about common issues, and to talk with people about how they're feeling about it, and to make a space for those emotions, and to make a space for that reality, and also to talk together about how can you change things together. So I think puppetry is an amazing medium, and I would love to do more in person, but I'll do some online as well.
Yeah, and can you tell me a little bit more about that one, actually? Because I do think it's very interesting. What's the story?
Well, the story is basically a child who grows up in a setting where she feels quite isolated. And there's a metaphor of an iceberg, like growing up on an iceberg. So the isolation is what gives the perpetrator a sense of power over her, and what makes her feel helpless. So she starts to kind of mentally leave the situation through fantasy, through spirituality, through daydreams, and she starts to dream of a different way that things could be. And she starts to get some feelings of validation that maybe she's willing to take a chance and find out what's beyond the edges of this isolated situation that she's in. And then she ends up finding support. She decides to take a chance, and she finds support, like a whole new set of human beings, really, that she can start to bond with and navigate, these relationships. And she rebuilds her life. And then there is a sense of joy and blossoming